11 News. Coverage you can count on.
This man is in custody after investigators say he confessed to threatening to blow up the federal building downtown. That threat was made in a 911 call yesterday, forcing an evacuation. Channel 11's Alyssa Raymond has new information on a motive.
This 6-year-old man is here inside the Allegheny County Jail. He's accused of calling 911 and threatening to blow up the federal building downtown. This is Albert Morris. Police arrested him at a home in Homewood. Prior to that, this is what it looked like in downtown Pittsburgh around 5 last night. A lot of police along Liberty Avenue and Grant Street. They evacuated the William S. Moorhead Federal Building and sent in bomb-sniffing dogs. According to the probable cause affidavit, Morris admitted to calling in the bomb threat. He said the government owed him money. Police searched Morris's home on North Lang Avenue, but say they didn't find any explosives. Police say he also made a second call, threatening a building in Washington, D.C. Hear more about that call, plus hear from a woman who knows him and why she believes he didn't know the extent of what he was doing. All of that tonight at 5. Reporting from outside the Allegheny County Jail, Alyssa Raymond, Channel 11 News.
Breaking news now out of Florida, where 2 FBI agents are dead and 3 others are wounded after serving a search warrant in Sunrise, Florida, just north of Miami. The suspect is also dead. Few details have been released, but investigators say the warrant was for crimes against children. And more breaking news, Pennsylvania says it has surpassed 1 million COVID vaccinations. And the Allegheny County Health Department just released an update on new COVID cases. It is reporting just 300 new cases since yesterday at noon. Health officials have also learned of 8 additional deaths dating back to December 29th. One of the victims was in their 20s. As more vaccines are distributed, Allegheny County is working to set up a second vaccination clinic at the Ross Community Center. The Trib is reporting the proposal would turn the gym into a clinic by March 1st. The hope is to have it open 12 hours a day, 6 days a week for at least 9 months. This would be the second distribution site in the county. The goal would be to vaccinate 1,000 people a day at each location. And another piece of promising news, more doses are coming to Pennsylvania. The Commonwealth is set to get 17,000 more doses a week, meaning the state could get up to 160,000 doses a week. But that is still far below the 700,000 that the state requested. Well, the snow has moved through with some of our areas seeing up to 3.5 more inches of snow. We are in 11 alert mode with cancellations and delays scrolling at the bottom of your screen. And Danielle, more snow showers could move in tonight.
Yeah, I do think we're going to have another piece of energy that's going to be allowing for some additional snow showers to occur. More on that here in just a minute. 27 out there right now with an overcast sky, and the snow looks really pretty on the hills. Northwest wind at 17 miles per hour puts the wind chill down in the teens. We're still hanging on to a few snow showers here in Indiana County. It's 27 there in Indiana, 29 in Butler, and 29 degrees in Beaver. It feels like only 16, though, in Indiana. It feels like 19 in Washington, 14 it feels like in Pittsburgh. So if you are stepping out, you're running some errands here anytime shortly, just make sure you have your heavy coat and your gloves on. You're going to need it because the winds are really strong out there today. Still to come, we'll have my hour-by-hour forecast, and we'll take a look at the timing of some more snow that I think could bring some minor snow accumulation to parts of the area tonight. That's coming up.
All right, thanks, Danielle. Governor Tom Wolf just released details of his new budget, and he is proposing a new plan to dramatically boost funding for public schools. They make up $6.8 billion of the current budget. Wolf will ask for lawmakers to approve more than $2 billion extra. The biggest part of that would go towards teachers' salaries and supplies. Schools would also receive another $200 million for special education aid. That plan will be supported by an increase in the state's personal income tax rate from 3.07 to nearly 4.5%. We're sifting through the governor's plan right now and look for developing details tonight on Channel 11 News starting at 5. Hammering out a deal today, lawmakers in Washington, D.C. are still trying to figure out how to get you that stimulus check. And at least one Republican says it's time to go big. West Virginia Governor Jim Justice.
At the end of the day, really and truly, Poppy, what we need to do is we need to understand that trying to be, per se, fiscally responsible at this point in time with what we've got going on in this country, if we actually throw away some money right now, so what? We have really got to move and get people taken care of and get people back on balance.
Governor Justice is going against West Virginia's former governor, Joe Manchin, who is the sole Democrat in the Senate, against a $1,400 stimulus check. President Biden sat down with a group of Republicans last night, and Tracy Potts has more on where both sides draw the line right now.
No, I'm anxious for it to talk.
Here's what's on the table. 2 plans to help struggling Americans. The new Republican proposal would cost $618 billion, a third of President Biden's plan, with no money for states, local governments, and much less for schools. It includes smaller stimulus checks, $1,000 targeting low-income families, and less unemployment.
It makes no sense to pinch pennies when so many Americans are struggling.
Republicans called their White House meeting productive and promised to keep talking.
It was a very good exchange of views. I wouldn't say that we came together on a package tonight. No one expected that in a 2-hour meeting.
Democrats have started an effort to push through Biden's plan without Republican votes.
Republicans can still vote for that, and there's certainly precedent of that in the past.
Both plans include the same amount for more vaccines.
When the vaccine becomes available to you, please get vaccinated.
But many Americans are having trouble getting an appointment.
It's like buying a lottery ticket and you just hope that your number will come up.
There's new evidence vaccines are working. Nursing home patients were among the first to get shots, and new cases there are down in the past month. Tracy Potts, NBC News.
Capitol Police Officer Brian Sicknick, who died after the attack on the U.S. Capitol last month, will lie in honor tonight at the U.S. Capitol Rotunda. Officer Sicknick was hit in the head with a fire extinguisher during the riot. A ceremonial arrival will take place tonight, and a viewing will start at 10 p.m. A Bucks County man has been charged with assaulting another officer during that riot at the Capitol. According to the criminal complaint, Ryan Samsel is seen in videos approaching a fence being secured by Capitol Police. He and several other protesters began pushing and pulling on the barrier, and a female officer was knocked to the ground. Pennsylvania's Secretary of State will resign at the end of the week. Kathy Bookvar will leave the office after admitting her agency made a big mistake. So here's what happened. The Department of State didn't advertise a proposed constitutional amendment on whether survivors of decades-old sexual abuse should be able to sue their abusers. Advertising an amendment is a constitutional requirement in Pennsylvania, and because of the error, a vote on the issue will have to be delayed.
This last 2.5 years, in a lot of regards, has forced us to live in the past. And when you live with PTSD and you deal with the sleepless nights and you deal with the unwanted thoughts, the intrusive thoughts, we didn't ask for any of this. We didn't.
The earliest you'll be able to vote on the change will be in the spring of 2023 now. The Pittsburgh Public School District could look very different in just a few years. The board will discuss a new plan tonight that includes closing several schools. The plan recommends closing these 7 schools. Next year, the only school to close would be Wolfslayer Elementary in Lawrenceville. The plan also includes closing 6 buildings and creating 2 new schools. The board will vote to open public comment on this plan at a special meeting tonight. That meeting set for 5:30. The earliest they can vote on the new plan isn't until late May. Tonight's Pens game at PPG Paints Arena has been postponed. The NHL pushed the game back against New Jersey after a Devils player tested positive for COVID. Thursday night's game against the Devils is also canceled. Looks like Major League Baseball will start on time. The players rejected a plan to delay spring training in the season by more than a month. The rejection by the players means spring training will begin in 2 weeks. The Pirates season opener set for April 1st. A medical marijuana shop is being planned for the north side, and Channel 11's Mike Holden learned that there's a much bigger operation planned for behind the scenes.
A brand new medical marijuana facility is coming right here to Pittsburgh's north side, and it's all part of a partnership with a local university. Folks who live in this community have some mixed reactions. In the months ahead, this 120,000 square foot space will transform into a medical marijuana facility leased by Atlanta-based company Parallel. It's happening at the Northside Commerce Center in Pittsburgh's Chateau neighborhood. The space will operate as a grow facility and research center for Good Blend, Pennsylvania. Good Blend is a state-approved and licensed project designated to research and growing medical marijuana. Pitt School of Medicine is part of the partnership. Researchers will spend time there exploring the possible benefits of marijuana use on sick patients. Company officials say the project will bring hundreds of new jobs to the area, and community members say it's a unique venture that they're adjusting to.
If it brings in more jobs than that, that's great. And medical marijuana is supposed to help people, so good for them.
And work is set to begin on this project by mid-year, but the big question is, what will it entail and what will be happening indoors once it's completed? We're breaking down that side of the story for Channel 11 News starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Reporting from the north side, Mike Holden, Channel 11 News.
Actor Hal Holbrook has died. His assistant announced he died at his California home on January 23rd. Holbrook was best known for his longtime stage portrayal of Mark Twain. He also made his mark on the big screen with performances in All the President's Men and Lincoln. He won 5 Emmy Awards for his television performances. He was 95 years old.
Wind chills are in the teens right now. Coming up, I'll let you know how cold it's getting tonight. Plus, I am tracking some more snow that I think will move in later on tonight. Your hour-by-hour forecast coming up.
I feel like I have to live in fear. I've had to put locks on the gates.
A Pittsburgh neighborhood targeted by pranksters. What the victims are doing to stop the vandalism.
Such a sense of community and such a sense of belonging.
And COVID is threatening this local bowling alley. How the community is stepping up to save the lane.
Just such a sense of community and such a sense of belonging.
He's talking about Nesbitt's Lanes, a beloved bowling alley in Plum. And like so many small businesses, Nesbitt's was at risk of closing because of the pandemic. But the community wouldn't let that happen. Our Michelle Newell shows us how neighbors came together to save the cherished business.
Tucked away in the heart of Plum Borough,
It's a really special place.
you'll find a place filled with memories.
Such a sense of community, such a sense of belonging.
This place is Nesbitt's Lanes.
I like the feel. It's cozy. They got good fries here.
People of all ages come here to bowl, including the Gateway bowling team.
Out this bowling alley is the central hub of the community. There's really no other place for families to go to.
That's why customers feel more like family when they are at Nesbitt's Lanes. It's a long-time family-owned business.
I started here back when I was a teenager.
Doug Allen loves to bowl here and has a great relationship with the owner.
He's just the most giving, caring person that we'd never ask for help, never expect help.
The owner wasn't expecting to get the help that he recently found out about.
People just start pouring in one after another, hundreds, thousands.
Allen is talking about this GoFundMe page that he helped his friend put together. Nesbitt's Lanes has struggled to stay open during the pandemic.
We started doing some numbers, and Dave came up with how much money it was actually going to cost the bowling alley over the next few months.
They created the GoFundMe page just days ago. The community helped raise close to $40,000 within hours. And just when Allen and his friend were trying to calculate how much they needed to meet the $100,000 goal, a big donation came in.
Oh my gosh, the football player, Pat McAfee, just kicked in 20 grand. And then while we were talking, he kicked in another $15,800.
So many others are showing support for Nesbitt's Lanes on social media. The pastor of a church in Plum shared her gratitude for how generous the owner is, and she's asking others to help save the business. A similar post came from John Anthony's restaurant in Plum. The owner is organizing a dine out, and baskets are now being donated to auction off for Nesbitt's Lanes. The owner is so overwhelmed by the support he didn't want to go on camera. The money should help get him through the next 7 months or so. He's also thinking about donating some of it to the borough.
Important to see it stay open and thrive because there's very few places like this anymore.
Reporting from Plum, Michelle Newell, Channel 11 News.
A Pittsburgh neighborhood is being targeted by thieves and pranksters. We blurred their faces here in these pictures because they are kids. Neighbors in Brookline are getting frustrated and they want police to take action. The group is accused of breaking security cameras, harassing a dog, lighting trash cans, dumpsters on fire, and even pulling the fire alarm at a senior living center.
I just want them to stop. Like, I shouldn't have to worry about when I go to sleep at night what's going to happen on my house.
The neighbors who have security cameras told us they sent all their video to police who are investigating. Now, the snow stopped in our area, but a massive nor'easter has been wreaking havoc across a huge swath of the country for days, dumping more than 2 feet of snow in some places. Travel is treacherous across the region, and now the storm has also become a killer. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez has the latest from Worcester, Massachusetts.
Overnight, the snow kept falling here, and now a massive cleanup effort is underway. The storm turned deadly. At least 4 people are dead in Pennsylvania and Maryland, and across the Northeast, travel is treacherous. This cleanup effort underway right now in Worcester, Massachusetts. But several states declared states of emergency, and there were whiteout conditions, leaving travelers stranded on the highways. More than 900 flights were canceled at tri-state airports, and many COVID vaccination centers were closed, not just on Monday, but now will be closed on Tuesday. New York City shutting down all of its state and city-run vaccine centers. Now, here in Worcester, Massachusetts, the National Weather Service says that this was the highest daily snowfall for February 1st since 1898. Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News, Worcester, Massachusetts.
The past year may seem like one big Groundhog Day, but today all eyes were on Punxsutawney Phil making his 135th prediction.
We have all passed through the darkness of night, but now see hope in morning's bright light. But now, when I turn to see, there's a perfect shadow cast of me. 6 more weeks of winter there will be.
They try to soften it and make it nice by making it into a poem, but that doesn't make it nicer. 6 more weeks of winter. Phil and his inner circle delivered the prediction virtually this year without the usual crowd at Gobbler's Knob. Organizers still made the most of the annual celebration by piping in traditional crowd noise and even including cardboard cutouts of fans. That prediction comes as no surprise, though, to meteorologist Danielle Dozier. Is that what you were calling for?
Well, if I have to think about it meteorologically, Gordon, it was cloudy and it was snowing there in Punxsutawney, and so he wouldn't see his shadow.
Sounds about right then, yeah.
Here's a look at our forecast here. Upper 20s in the noon hour right now. We're going to go up to about 30 today. day, give or take, so it's going to be another cold one for us. The winds will be strong, could gust up to 30 miles per hour this afternoon, so it'll feel even colder. You can see here he is poking his head out. I love this graphic in this time of year. So breezy winds will make it feel like the teens and 20s throughout the afternoon. Visible satellite right now shows the cloud cover that's across our area, but the really cool thing about our visible satellite presentation is if you look closely in some of the areas where the white color is not moving, that's actually the snow that is on the ground. We can see it from outer space. Here's a look at some of the 24-hour snowfall totals ending at 7 o'clock this morning. Ligonier 3.7 inches, Salzburg 3.5, McCandless picking up another 2 inches, New Kensington 1.8, and Canonsburg 1.8 inches as well. So right now we're seeing the bulk of the snow showers off to our east. However, what I think might happen later on this evening is we get another wave or another piece of energy in the atmosphere, if you will, that's going to come in and kind of pivot into our area. I think could bring another round of some snow showers later on this evening. This particular model actually keeps the snow to the south, but I do expect with our wind direction coming generally out of the north that these snow showers are going to pivot in from that direction later on this evening. So I wouldn't be surprised if Pittsburgh sees some more snow. Places like Greensburg, Washington, maybe even Beaver as well. Our snowfall forecast additional, I'd say up to an inch in some locations, unless you get off to places like Greensburg and Uniontown and you live out there, maybe 2 inches, 3 inches in the highest of elevations perhaps. So we'll be tracking that next round coming in later on tonight. As far as the rest of today though, pretty quiet, pretty tranquil, but it'll be cloudy, near 30 at 3 o'clock and 28 at 6 p.m. Overnight tonight, 21. The winds will stay breezy with occasional gusts to 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow, hourly forecast here, 27 by 11 a.m. Average high is 37. We'll be below that, topping out only in the lower 30s. Coming up, I'll have your hour-by-hour wind chill forecast for the day on Wednesday. We'll also take a look here at how January wrapped up because, of course, we're in the month of February now. I wanted to keep you updated on how we have trended with our temps and our snowfall. Looking ahead, though, to Thursday and Friday here, we've got a rain-snow mix moving in late Thursday night and into Friday with highs only in the upper 30s. Say only in the upper 30s. I should say going up into the upper 30s because we're actually going to be talking about a huge cool down into the weekend. Saturday 30, which is actually the pick day to get outside if you wanted to go for a run because Sunday is going to bring more scattered snow showers and the highs look like they could be in the upper teens and low 20s across our area with single-digit low temperatures. Could have some locations even close to 0 or below 0 as we head into Monday of next week. So Gordon, get ready. Big cold on the way.
Get the heavy jacket out. Using Face ID to unlock your iPhone even when you're wearing a face mask. How Apple is making it happen. And what organizers are doing so the Pittsburgh Home and Garden Show will not be canceled by COVID. There's another scam to trick Pennsylvanians who are out of work. A bogus Facebook page went up that looked exactly like the one used by the Labor Department, but they spelled labor wrong. Scammers used the British spelling of the word. They asked for information like Social Security or unemployment claims numbers. The phony page has been taken down, but that doesn't mean other versions won't pop up. There's been a rise in similar scams since Congress extended federal unemployment benefits. Organizers of this year's Duquesne Light Home and Garden Show are determined to hold the event. It will be held in April instead of March. The director told our trip partners he believes the extra month will allow them to have a show that's as close to normal as possible. This will be the 40th year for the show, which is the largest in Pennsylvania. Strict COVID restrictions would be in place. Apple's next iOS update will let users unlock their iPhones with Face ID even when wearing a mask. The feature does have one catch, though. It only works if you're also wearing an Apple Watch. As long as the watch is unlocked, you'll only need to look at your phone and you'll get a buzz on your wrist to let you know that the unlock was successful. Toyota has reclaimed the crown as the world's largest automaker by sales after 5 years of losing to Volkswagen. The Japanese automaker was boosted by a sharp rebound from the pandemic last year, selling 9.5 million vehicles worldwide. Toyota's focus on hybrids is fast paying off as it gets set to roll out battery-powered cars over the next few years. Different strains of COVID-19 are spreading fast. We are asking local health officials if Pennsylvania can keep up.
Winds are really strong out there this afternoon. Coming up, I'll have your hour-by-hour wind forecast, plus what it'll feel like throughout the day tomorrow.
Snow has moved through for now. Meteorologist Danielle Dozier is tracking when more snow will push through in Severe Weather Center 11.
Hey, Gordon, I think later on this evening. So you can see here on our storm tracker maps at 5, 6 p.m. This weather model actually doesn't show a whole lot here in Pittsburgh. It does show most of that snow occurring in our far eastern counties and ridges. However, I've been analyzing all of the computer weather data here coming in today, and it does show that we will have some of these snow showers kind of pivoting in from the north as we head into this evening. I do expect the chance for some snow in Pittsburgh, places like Greensburg, Washington. I'm still expecting a chance of snow, at least in the Beaver area as well. And I'll have more on that and any additional accumulation in just a sec. Taking a look here at 26-mile-per-hour wind gusts in Pittsburgh. It is certainly a gusty day. Our winds could gust up to 25, maybe even 30 miles per hour this afternoon. And those winds will be sustained between 10 and 20 miles per hour tomorrow with higher gusts once again. That's going to put the wind chills down in the single digits starting tomorrow morning. I'll have the rest of your wind chill forecast for the afternoon on Wednesday, what you can expect there. Plus, we'll take a look at that January wrap-up that I was speaking of earlier. Still to come. Gordon.
Thanks, Danielle. Today, the Pennsylvania National Guard could wrap up their work at North Strabane Rehab. More than half of the residents and staff at the nursing home contracted COVID. About a dozen Guard members have been helping with a variety of jobs, from maintenance to nursing assistance. Allegheny County saw a 39% decline in new COVID cases in January compared to November. And cases are also falling in Westmoreland County, 47% fewer month to month. But the new strains of the virus are causing more concern. Take a look at this variant tracker from NBC News. We can tell you that it shows the spread of the new UK variant to most of our country, including Pennsylvania, and Minnesota is also affected with the UK and Brazilian strains, and Maryland and South Carolina have both the UK and South African variants. And leaders at AHN and UPMC say it's a race between the vaccine and the variants. The shots still appear to be working against these strains, but early studies show they could be more contagious.
The more vaccines that we can get approved, the more we can get manufactured, and the more we can get it into the arms, the faster the better, especially with the emergence of some of the new variants that we're seeing.
None of the 3 variants have been found in Pittsburgh yet, but it is expected that will change in the coming weeks. And as the new variants spread, Britt Conway has some answers to some of the questions you might have right now.
By now, variant is a word you've heard over and over again.
Variants remain a great concern, and we continue to detect them in the United States.
So let's answer a few questions you might have. First, what is it about these variants that has medical experts most worried?
The more infection there is in a community, in a country, the likelihood, almost the certainty that there will be variants. And the virus's goal is to survive, so it will be the strongest variants that will eventually survive.
The variants that have been identified recently seem to spread more easily, and there's concern they could become more dominant in the U.S. by the spring. So what about the vaccine's effectiveness against the new variants?
Even though there is a diminished protection against the variants, there's enough protection to prevent you from getting serious disease, including hospitalization and deaths.
But what if I can't get a vaccine right now?
First, wear a mask, stay 6 feet apart. Second, please avoid crowds and poorly ventilated areas. Third, now is not the time to travel.
How will all of that make a difference?
There is less virus spreading, and the conditions that produce variants are decreased.
So public health measures and getting people vaccinated could prevent future variants too?
Viruses cannot mutate if they don't replicate. There is light at the end of the tunnel, but it's going to be up to us to step to the plate.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
The CDC has been ramping up its efforts to process and identify additional cases of variants, but even the CDC director admits it is not yet at the level it should be. The Congressional Budget Office believes U.S. jobs will not return to the pre-pandemic levels until 2024. While the economy is expected to bounce back by the middle of the year, economists say the jobs market is still a long way from recovering. April was the peak for job loss when more than 20 million jobs disappeared and unemployment shot up to nearly 15%. Reuniting families separated at the border, helping asylum seekers, and a citizenship path for immigrants brought to the U.S. as children. Our Jacqueline Fell takes a look at the immigration orders coming today from President Joe Biden.
President Biden is looking to reverse former President Trump's tight immigration policies. One executive order will create a task force to reunite the more than 600 children who were separated from their parents or families under President Trump's zero-tolerance policy. Another would evaluate border security and legal immigration programs, like the Remain in Mexico policy that's left tens of thousands of asylum seekers, mostly from Central America, waiting in Mexican border cities for immigration hearings in the U.S. The Biden administration also wants to provide an 8-year path to citizenship for the almost 11 million unauthorized people living in the U.S. They're known as Dreamers, brought to the U.S. as children. The president is sending legislation to Congress to help make this happen. The bill faces an uphill battle in Congress. The orders are likely to face legal challenges as well. In Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 11 News.
One of the largest airlines at Pittsburgh International may start furloughing employees. Last week, United sent notices to 14,000 workers. It said furloughs could begin in April once the second round of federal stimulus runs out. Aviation unions are pressing Congress and the president for more aid. Last year, United saw a nearly 68% drop in passengers at Pittsburgh International. February is Black History Month, and to mark the occasion, Pittsburgh's August Wilson Center is planning a month of events. The nonprofit cultural organization will present Pittsburgh's Black art scene, past, present, and future. And the center will also present a special installment of their virtual music series, Studio Sessions. And don't forget, the August Wilson stamp is now available. The Forever Stamp honors the legendary playwright who is hailed as a trailblazer for bringing African-American drama to theater. The stamp is part of the Post Office's Black Heritage series. Legendary singer Tony Bennett has revealed that he is battling Alzheimer's disease. The 94-year-old made the revelation in an interview with AARP magazine, saying he got the diagnosis in 2016. These pictures are of Bennett on the red carpet 2 years after that at the Grammy Awards in 2018. The article indicates so far Bennett has been spared some of the worst symptoms of the disease. Bennett's last public performance was in March of last year, and he actually has a new album coming out this spring, Duets with Lady Gaga. After the article was released, Bennett's Twitter account posted a note in the singer's name, writing, "Life is a gift, even with Alzheimer's." We've heard of the pros and cons to virtual learning. Next, what students in a local school district are saying about learning at home. And overwhelmed by COVID and in need of help, the new trend of traveling nurses. Hospital stays from COVID are down across the country, but the number remains high, and some cities are bringing in traveling nurses. A recent study found 40% of Americans live in an area where ICUs are running out of room and personnel. And that's where fast staff travel nursing comes in. The company sends medical professionals to places where they are in high demand.
I'm not going to lie about that. It's natural to be afraid, to be fearful of this disease. I see people dying on a daily basis, and it's very sad.
Since the start of the pandemic, they've placed nurses in 400 facilities in almost every state. One traveling ICU nurse says he's been to 4 states. Students in the South Allegheny School District returned to class today, but they had to find their own way there. The bus company terminated its contract with the district on Friday. In-person instruction was canceled yesterday. The district says it's looking for another bus company. We have new insight on virtual learning coming directly from students. A third of students at Franklin Regional High School said they need more direction with online instruction. They say it needs to be clear what they're learning and not just complete tasks. They also need more screen breaks and time to release stress. Butler's Main Street can't catch a break. First coronavirus and now a devastating fire. How you can help these businesses bounce back.
I'm expecting a little more snow later on this evening and tonight, but coming up, I'll let you know we'll finally shake the snow, and we'll talk more about just how cold it'll be getting into tomorrow.
The smoke in here was incredible. I mean, I could barely breathe when I came into the building, and we did get some water damage.
Butler's downtown business district devastated by a weekend fire. This is what it looked like Saturday's flames shot from the roof of Sir Speedy. It's just another blow for Main Street businesses. Channel 11's Amy Marcinkiewicz covers this community every day and explains how big of a setback this is.
The fire closed Miller Shoe Stores. All the inventory, it has to go. This is a business already hurting from COVID, now hurting even more. Everything must go. The crews are taking out all the shoes while the industrial fans dry up the water damage. Jimmy Ciprian, the owner of Miller's Shoes on Main Street in Butler, knows he's lucky. The other 3 stores hit by fire over the weekend devastated. Sir Speedy Printing, an empty shell. Firefighters say this is where the flames started, moving quickly next door to Reclamation Brewery, a small business owned by Butler's mayor.
Yeah, you just say, oh my God, there's my life's work. Miller's Shoes, downtown Butler, 128 years. You know, we're a legend here. The whole 200 block here, valuable stores, and that's going to be a great loss for our community.
The global pandemic has hit small businesses hard, and now a disaster like this has them out of business for who knows how long.
Keep on moving, keep on coming. Support your local businesses, your downtown businesses. I know everybody's hard hit, but this is a time we got to move together to one direction and save our businesses.
This store and several others on the block are closed indefinitely. Fire officials are still looking into what caused all this. In Butler, Amy Marcinkowicz, Channel 11 News.
New research suggests college football players are most at risk for head injury during practice. The study is from the Medical College of Wisconsin. It showed 2/3 of head impacts and nearly 3/4 of concussions occurred during practice and not a game. The Concussion Legacy Foundation called these findings shocking, saying the football community is known for years reforming practice rules could cut down on head impacts by 50%. 2 people were rescued from a truck submerged in water during yesterday's storm. This happened at a park in Connecticut. A woman was standing on top of the truck. You can see there shouting that a man was trapped inside. Fire crews used a ladder to save her, and they were able to pull the man through the window.
Severe weather Team 11 forecast.
Well, here's a look at how January wrapped up. We had an average temperature of 30.3 degrees, which was almost 2 degrees above average. It was a warmer month for us. And our snowfall, we had 12 inches, so we were above average by about a ½ an inch. Our storm total snowfall since the snow began late Saturday night and early Sunday morning in Pittsburgh was 8.5 inches, falling right in my forecast range of 6 to 10. And we do expect a little more snow coming in tonight. 27 right now. Look at the camera shaking. We've got a 17-mile-per-hour sustained wind and a wind chill at 14. The good news is for the most part, it looks like the roads are looking good. This is I-79 in Bridgeville from one of our PennDOT cameras. The crews have been out being able to treat most of that snow that we had overnight. So with the additional snowfall that I think will come starting around 5, 6, 7 p.m. maybe, so we're talking later into the evening hours as far as the initial start time of some more snow showers. That will continue into tonight. I think for the most part, a lot of the area will see generally less than an inch of additional snow accumulation, unless you get out toward our eastern counties. And our model data has been showing that in those locations, 1 to 2 inches look possible. Those higher elevations may see a little bit more, up to 3, but definitely some minor snow accumulation, but we're not quite done yet. 27 in Greensburg right now, 29 in Butler, 28 in Washington. Tonight, snow showers early. I do believe they'll begin to taper off overnight. We're looking at winds northwest 10 to 20, gusting to 25. So as I mentioned, some single-digit wind chills into tomorrow morning. Air temperatures across the rest of the area, 23 in Uniontown, 23 in Greensburg, and 22 in Indiana. If you want to take the kids out sledding tomorrow, we're going to start with a cloudy sky with temperatures in the mid-20s at 9 a.m., climbing to about 31 at 5 o'clock. And we do actually look to have some breaks in the clouds throughout the day tomorrow. Just layer those kids up and keep them warm. It'll be a great day, though, I think, overall. We should stay fairly quiet. 33 in Greensburg tomorrow, 33 in Indiana, 31 in Beaver. Here's your wind chill forecast in the afternoon on Wednesday. 4 o'clock here. Feels like 22 in the city, 20 in Washington. This is because the winds will once again be strong. Today, we're looking at occasional gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Tomorrow, I think they could be gusting up to 25 miles per hour. We'll keep you posted on if anything changes there. Check this out. I've got your wind chill forecast now on the screen. You know, over the last couple of days, I was showing you the air temperature. I thought, let's take a look at the wind chills. From Saturday night into Monday morning, we have got some really cold air coming down, everyone. And right now, it looks like the bulk of some of the really frigid air is going to stay across the northern plains, the Midwest, and up into Canada. But still, we're going to get a big chunk of this coming into our area, and our wind chills are going to be below 0. In fact, air temperatures may get close to 0. 0 as we head into next Monday morning. Something to watch. 5-day forecast here. Your weekend always in view. While another system moving in Thursday, Friday with some rain and snow. Saturday's the better day to, I guess, go for a walk if you want to, because it'll be dry. And Sunday, we're going to have more snow around 21 and then down to a low near 3 into Sunday night.
All right. Thanks, Danielle. How much do you really know about your money? Financial company Lending Tree says there are a lot of myths out there that people believe. Their new study found that 96% of Americans have at least one false belief about finances. For example, nearly half believe carrying a balance on your credit cards helps your credit score. And about 25% of people of people 40 and younger believe that they don't need to have savings for retirement. Nike has unveiled its first pair of slip-on sneakers without laces. The new shoe is called Go Fly Ease. When it's not being worn, the shoe sits in an open position. There's a hinge constructed into the bottom of the shoe, and a band wraps around the top and snaps into place once the foot is inside. The new sneakers will be available February 15th in Nike's largest markets for $120 a pair. Now here's local steals and deals.
Hey guys, have you noticed how many articles there are on good sleep right now, right? There's a lot going on. All of our minds are going crazy. And what does that do? It just keeps you up at night. And then once it starts keeping you up at night, then it just keeps you up at night more. And then you don't have good days. Then you're thinking, what am I going to do, right? How would you like to have something that could actually help you sleep better? You don't have to take anything. You don't have to keep buying something. You just get it once and you're good. And all you have to do is just curl up in it. This is Blankwool, and this is actually what I call blanket therapy. So this is a weighted blanket, and I love the way that they did it because, number one, they made it a great size. This is 4 feet wide. This is over 6 feet long. Honey, you are covered. You are cuddled. You are hugged. You are held in that weighted blanket when you have one that's this size. It's super soft. I love the fact that the cover comes off. You can throw it in the washing machine. You can use it with or without the cover. 6 great colors, and the list goes on and on. But one of the biggest determinants in how happy you are and how productive you are, and by the way, how pretty you feel, is how much you sleep at night. And a good sleep is one of the most important things in our day. This is something that can actually help you toss and turn less. If you're a restless sleeper, it's something that helps a lot of people go to sleep more quickly. It's something that helps people feel more centered and calm in a lot of cases. Blanket therapy makes you feel good, super easy. And this one is fabulous because I can take the cover, I can take it off, I can throw it in the washing machine, super easy. I can use this blanket with or without the cover, and I can choose between 15 and 20 pounds. So all good. 6 beautiful colors, fabulous way to go. Now, right now on localsteals.com, these are 30% off. I think it's one of the best things we can all do for every day that we're awake. So if you're looking for a great way to calm your mind and stay nice and warm, these are going to be perfect.
An Idaho man has beaten the odds, winning the lottery for the 6th time. He just won $250,000 in that state's lottery. His largest win so far. He says he plays the lottery because he knows it benefits Idaho schools. He has won 5 smaller winnings from scratch-off tickets. SpaceX plans to send 4 space tourists into orbit later this year as part of a mission to raise money for charity. The founder of the payment processing company Shift for Payments is paying for the flight and donating 3 seats to members of the general public. The aspiring astronauts are being asked to donate to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital or launch an online store or share an inspirational business story on Twitter for a chance to win a seat. SpaceX says the flight will travel across a low Earth orbit for several days. Your pet could be the next Cadbury bunny. Hershey has launched its campaign to find its next spokes animal. All you have to do is upload a picture of your pet in various costumes, ears, and hats. Public voting will begin next month. The winner will star in a new Cadbury cream egg commercial and win a $5,000 prize. Last year, a 2-legged dog named Lieutenant Dan won. His first commercial will air this month. That's all for Channel 11 News at noon. Our next newscast is tonight at 5. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.